Shudder just dropped a new Norwegian horror film on a streaming service as of today, September 29th, called Nightmare. But is the film even worth your time, and should you be checking it out? Well, stick around and let's talk about it. Normally, I just go ahead and I read you guys off all the names and actors and actresses that are actually involved in the film, and because this is a Norwegian film, out of the respect of all the actors and actresses, I'm not in the mood to actually butcher some names. I didn't know anything about Nightmare going into this film. I actually didn't even know it was a foreign film. The name seemed kind of generic, Nightmare, not really anything too special with the name. It follows a couple, Robbie and Mona, and they just have actually purchased an apartment, which is kind of run down. They got it for cheap because somebody actually died in this apartment and they need to actually fix it back up. They're having this welcoming party and having all these different people and celebrating the fact they got this new apartment, and they're both kind of younger. Robbie, he wants to start a family. They also have these neighbors where they have this screaming baby, and just weird kind of things are happening with those neighbors. And then you have Mona, who is actually having some really strange dreams, and she thinks that a demon is trying to attack her in these dreams, and she's having these crazy visuals throughout the night. Starting with my positives of this film, I do think that the acting in this film, it's done pretty decent. I don't think anybody isn't acting well. I think the cinematography in this film is done pretty well. I think it's more of the stronger point of this film, the way that the apartment is laid out. There are certain things kind of broken down. There's parts in the film where she's like peeling the wall, and just you can tell that the apartment, it's decaying a little bit. And you can also have a sense that there is some strange things that are happening within this building and where they're living, and just strange things that are around them that do make the film feel like it has an eerie feeling to it, with dreams and nightmares. There's a lot you can really do with it. I think it's an intriguing premise. You can really have a lot of different horror elements that you can actually include within sleep paralysis and having just nightmares and other things that can really horrify you within your dreams. Having said that, the premise seemed very intriguing for this film. The film does not have a very good opening, and it has some pacing issues within it. I felt like this film, it takes a long time to really get going. It doesn't have a really good hook to it. It introduces certain ideas where you're like, okay, this could be pretty good. You could have some really horrifying moments. There's some decent visuals within some of the moments that she has within dreams, but again, they're dreams, so you know that they are dreams, so there really isn't any effective jump scares, I would say, within those dreams. It didn't seem like there was a lot of horror moments within the film. I felt like because this demon that she was apparently seeing within her dreams, I thought they could do a lot with it and really enter more of a disturbing dark world, and the film, it never gets to that point. There is some folklore within this demon, which I did appreciate that they actually introduced in the film, but I felt like they just didn't really go too deep into the folklore. I feel like we get bits and pieces about it, but I feel like it could be a lot darker film. The problem with this film, and for some people, it's just going to be too slow. The main character, Mona, she's not a likable character. I say that because her boyfriend really likes her and loves her for who she is, and he wants to start a family. She doesn't want that, which, okay, that's fine that you don't want that, but there is a point in this film where she is apparently pregnant and she wants to get an abortion, and she never actually talks to him at all. There are parts in this film where she acts like a complete asshole to him, and it was very hard to really root for her at all. I honestly was just like, you know what, you're an ass to your boyfriend. You kind of get what you deserve with all these dreams and nightmares. I definitely wanted this boyfriend to just really leave her because she just wasn't really treating him well, and I felt like he had a grip of what he really wanted in life. It's tough too because both characters, they're in their 20s. I believe she said she was 25 in this film. So I feel like her maturity wasn't really there, even though they were taking this step to actually move into this apartment. I never really felt like they were a really strong couple because they apparently are together for 5 years. But I feel like she's going through a lot of hard times within the film, and I feel like he wants to be there for her, but I feel like she's very closed off on him actually wanting to get into her head and actually, figure out what's going on with her, especially with all these crazy dreams that she's having, crazy visuals that she's seen within those dreams. Having said that, Robbie is supportive of his girlfriend when she actually goes to a doctor and wants to actually take part in this doctor actually studying her dreams. He does seem a little bit reluctant to actually go through with these actual tests done, because I also feel like he definitely doesn't believe the fact that she apparently has this demon that is chasing her within her dreams. I think he thinks that she's a little bit not all there in the head when she's actually telling him this. This film, though, I feel like it's going to be very split on who likes it and who doesn't. I think from a pacing aspect, and definitely for me, this film is absolutely too slow. I feel like there's not a lot of action in it. I felt like the point of actually introducing the folklore of the demon, I definitely felt like there could have been a lot of horrifying moments, maybe some scary moments, really dark moments, and stuff that you could do with cinematography and makeup and other things that you could actually incorporate that really makes the audience feel like this demon is very powerful. And I felt like there really wasn't that much actually introduced into the film. And then there's going to be some other people that are really interested in the fact that she has these dreams. Maybe they have nightmares themselves, and they really latch onto the fact that this woman is actually having the same issue as they are having. So they feel like this film is very relatable. I feel like with this film, it just isn't scary enough. There isn't enough to really keep me interested throughout the film. I got to the hour mark and I was checking my watch, and I honestly was almost checking out with this film because I just felt like, even though the main character, this woman here, that I really didn't care for because she was just acting like a jerk to her boyfriend a lot of the time, I overall just didn't feel like the film had a lot of pizzazz or really anything to really keep you interested or really grab you to really keep wanting to watch this film. I feel like with this going on a horror streaming service, I feel like it just misses the mark, and it just needed a lot more to really keep the movie very interesting. And it just feels like it's very surface level within the nightmares and dreams. A couple cool visuals here and there, cinematography that is pretty well done, and acting that is fine. You don't feel like you just want to shut it off with the acting. But overall, it's just a movie that I really didn't like. And overall, I would give a score of this film a 1.5 out of 5. Just nothing too special and nothing that I really want to revisit again. But let me know in the comments, have you watched Nightmare? If you have, let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was kind of meh? And if you haven't watched it, is it something that you're going to be checking out soon on Shudder? Thank you guys for watching this review, and I will see you guys on my next review.